everyone's been trashing on these leagues and in corporations, associations, whatever recently, but give these guys some credit. They're showing some balls here. And this is just what Saudi said, the Saudi Pro League said yesterday regarding Ronaldo, because I guess he's supposed to sit out today, I guess. But the Saudi Pro League is built, this is what they said, their officials. These, quote, the Saudi Pro League is built on simple principle. Each club operates independently under the same rules. Clubs have their own boards, executives, and directors. Cristiano has been fully involved with Al Nassr since his arrival. However, no individual, no matter how important, can influence decisions outside their club. Recent transfer activity clearly demonstrates independence. One club strengthened one way, another chose a different way. These were legal club decisions. This, of course, being N'Golo Kante, who, of course, he eventually got his way and went over to Fenerbahce in Turkey, and then Karim Benzema leaving, I forgot where he left, to I can't even pronounce the names because they're so crazy. But no, all these, they're standing up to Cristiano, who has been sitting out. He's supposedly supposed to sit out his game today against the Karim Benzema team, but nobody knows if he's playing or not. But no, shout out the Saudi League, showing some balls here today to Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, and I agree to a certain extent. Listen, as much as they want to say, hey, everything that we did was legal, everything that we did was by the book, everything that all the decisions that were made by each organization, our organization, it's all squeaky clean. As much as I want to believe that, unfortunately, I do feel like there is a potential, a possibility of there being some level of corruption. I'm not going to say that Cristiano Ronaldo is completely false in his narrative and the way he looks at this. Now, obviously, he's frustrated with his team's inactivity at the transfer window. So that is probably the bigger component of all of this. But I'm not just going to give the Saudi League the benefit of the doubt and be like, oh, they're squeaky clean and, owners would never be in cahoots with one another. There would never be some sort of, anything nefarious going on. I don't tend to believe that. However, I just think that they're making a stand against Ronaldo. And what's so surprising to me about that, Ryan, is the fact that they're not bending to Ronaldo. Would the MLS respond the same way if Lionel Messi were to sit out for one reason or another, or claim
Messi
his
bitch, clearly.
Well, right.
We wouldn't even have this situation.
But imagining a different universe in which he does, I think the MLS would do anything at bended knee in order to make sure that he stays happy. But the Saudi League looking at Ronaldo and going, hey, dude, you're not above the rules and the laws and what we're trying to do. You're not above us. Just because you have the resume that you do, just because you are who you are, doesn't mean you just get to come in here and push everybody around. So it is fascinating to see the Saudi League stand up against Ronaldo, because I think on the other end, they understand what having him in the league does to the league. Kind of like Messi in the MLS. You immediately make the league relevant simply because you're in it. So as much as I'm sure they don't want to see this relationship sour, they also, on the other hand, realize, hey, man, if you're not out there playing and if the only thing that you're doing is burying us in the media and making us look a certain way, we just got to make sure that you understand you're not above the law, right? No one is above the law over here. But am I going to give the Saudi League the nod and be like, oh, yeah, they're squeaky clean and they don't do anything? No. I'm willing to admit that, and this time I can't say organization, because the organization, the Saudi League, not the actual teams. Those are clubs. There you go. Pro League. All right. Sorry. I'm learning. But there probably is something going up. But if you're Ronaldo, okay, that means you have to make a move. You got to get out of there. So at the end of the day, this relationship is completely soured between Ronaldo and the Saudi League. I just think that it's not going to get any better. It's not going to get sorted out. If anything, it's going to be like the Drake and Kendrick beef. It's just going to keep getting more and more petty. And so he needs to make a decision on where he wants to go. And I think it's a fun decision to talk about, because we already talked about him coming to the MLS, maybe going home to Portugal, different directions that he can go. But the relationship in my mind is effectively over. And I think this is just kind of the tip of the iceberg.
I would say cool down a little bit if it's over yet, because a lot of things can happen up until the transfer window and when he wants to leave. I think there's a lot of time and a lot of things that can happen. And if you're the Saudi Pro League here, you don't want to lose Ronaldo. So you're going to try again, they can say all they want, but behind closed doors
Yeah.
they're going to do everything they can to keep Ronaldo in Saudi. So that's exactly what I see happening. Is the relationship sour? 100% it is soured. Is I like them saying like that no one is above the law here, but they're going to eventually sit down with Ronaldo, you know, one on one, I guess, with his agents or whatever, and all the higher ups in the Saudi Pro League. They're going to sit down with him at some point here in the near future, I believe, and they're just going to be like, all right. So how do we patch things? This is what just happened, but you can't be upset about this because this rule's in place, this rule's in place, this rule's in place, and ultimately, if he was like, you know what, that's dumb, I want out, then yeah, then I feel like we can eventually say that relationship is over. I wouldn't say it's over quite yet because it's February
Yeah.
6th, and there is a lot of time before the transfer window. And look, Ronaldo can go anywhere he wants in the world. He can come to the USL if he truly wants to. I mean, that's totally up to
Yeah.
him. But I mean, are people going to afford him? No, obviously not. But I also don't think money is an issue with Ronaldo anymore. If he really
Yeah.
thinks, I mean, he's worth over $1 billion. I think he's made over $1 billion. So
Yeah.
I don't think that money is an issue for him. So I think he would be gladly to take under what $250 million a year is whatever Saudi's given him. But Saudi has to know that a lot of people tune into games just for Ronaldo, and rightfully so. I mean, the guy's 41 years old,
Yeah.
and he looks like he's 30 or 25 or something. So I think it's definitely sour,
Yeah.
but we are going to hear about it at some point. I think in the next upcoming weeks, maybe just over a month of. All right, they sat down with Ronaldo. They laid out the plan here. They laid out the reasoning why they're trying to patch things up here. But no, for right, I wouldn't say it's over yet.
Yeah, it would really take a concentrated effort from the Saudi league to be like, hey man, we got to be on level terms here. You, us, everybody, we all got to get together. We all have to figure this out, hash this out, because I realize they want to hold on to Ronaldo, but you also, even as a league, you have power in numbers, sure, but what you don't have is almost, I guess, in Ronaldo's mind or in his camp's mind, is like the right to say these things or to treat a player of his caliber that way, which is, I'm sure, what Ronaldo thinks at the same exact time. So, anyways, it is a messy situation, but it's gonna have to take a concentrated effort from the league if they want to keep Ronaldo around, because, like I said, I think he just has so many avenues and so many options and directions he can go if it doesn't end up working out. But it is surprising to see how gutsy they are in doing that. I wasn't necessarily expecting that.
Yeah, it's
Per se.
felt like the last couple of years, like all these leagues, it's just been the players running stuff because ultimately, why do people come in and watch this stuff? I mean, it's for the
Yeah.
players and everything, but we've starting to see some pullback from these organizations, the NCAA, obviously, Saudi Pro League. I mean, you can argue if Ronaldo's getting paid way too much. I mean, I think $250 million a year to play soccer is way too much. I also think that paying a quarterback like Carson Beck and Bryce Underwood almost $4 million a year is crazy to me. I think that is way too much money
What's
for those
crazier
guys.
is thinking of paying someone $250 million and they're not playing.
Yeah,
Like,
that
that's the part
too.
of, for like the Saudi league. It's like, dude,
I mean, I
what are
hope
we
that he's
doing
getting
here?
fined. I hope he's breaching
Yeah.
some rules in their contract so the team in the league can save a little bit of money. But the thing that I find a little bit interesting about the quote is all these teams operate independently and wonder if, like, what truly is going on behind closed doors, because it's Saudi, so it's definitely not clean. I mean, no league in this world is truly clean
Is
with
squeaky
their
clean. Yeah,
operations.
exactly.
But
Yep.
you wonder what things have allowed to go through that in normal leagues wouldn't go through. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious. I would like to be a fly in the wall in some of these situations just to hear things. I mean, like, if you think about it, flies have a lot of information. Flies have a lot of information. We just don't
Oh
know
yeah.
about it. Like,
Yep.
truly, like, if there is a fly in one room about, like, political decisions or financial decisions of a massive company or an NFL war room or anything in sports, really, like, they have all this information that they probably forget about in like 30 seconds. How long is the memory of a fly? So I was actually looking up at the
If they understand English too. I mean, we gotta also on factor in, do they, English or whatever other language is
Oh
being
wow,
spoken?
it's 4 seconds.
All right. Well,
Wow, that's
I mean,
well.
they hear a lot of stuff, though, I will say.
Yeah, sorry. I was looking at the
But
Team USA hockey Olympic schedule. They don't play
when
till.
do they start? We don't even play. We don't even talk about the Olympics. Man, the Winter Olympics is going on. We haven't even said anything.
I don't think a
Um,
lot of people pay attention to the Winter Olympics unless like I mean I personally have never really paid attention to it. I mean, a
I want to
lot of
do the
it
luge.
a lot of it is going on during school days and work days. Like the Summer Olympics is a little bit different because for the most part it's all played in the evening. This stuff is like happening like March Madness time, like noon, and
Yeah,
like no one's
yeah,
really
it's
gonna
true.
drop. No one's gonna drop everything to see Sean White on the half pipe. No one's gonna do that. Like
Oh,
if
come on. I didn't
some
even
people,
include him in my list of gingers. He should have been, I feel like, towards the top of the list in gingers, at least in the top
but
5.
like everyone's
I
gonna
mean,
tune in to see Furman upset Virginia in the NCAA tournament, but no one's gonna tune in to see the half pipe or anything. But no, the women's hockey team won the other day, so shout out to
yeah,
them. But
5-1.
yeah, the men's doesn't play till next Thursday, according to this schedule on USAHockey.com. So I
Who do they
imagine that's
start
right.
with?
But no, they've started technically, but I
Mm,
don't really follow it. I'll only follow the hockey team. That's about it. I don't really care about
yeah,
skiing or snowboarding or half
I
pipe
mean,
or anything.
hockey, we should be competitive. Should maybe go compete for a gold medal, but who knows, man? Sweden's good, Canada's good.
Yeah, their group
Uh,
is Latvia, Denmark, and Germany, based on this schedule. And
so
so
we'll be all right then. Germany's getting better, but Germany's always just kind of been when it comes to hockey. But